Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The morning after the night before, big night for the boys last night.
Big afternoon.
Big afternoon. It is loud and proud.
Handsome.
It looks better on there. It just looks.
I almost don't want it to go to 10, or I don't want it to go to 100 and 100. Just stay there. Let's
stay there.
Straight.
We'll take it. If it does, we'll take it. Hope you're all well, guys. I'm sure you kind of followed along a little bit yesterday. Some of our social media posts on making the magic number happened a little bit sooner than we really thought.
Yeah, I kind of thought while we were live this morning would have been great timing, but no complaints. Earlier is better than not at all.
I know. It was funny. I was driving back from London, Ontario, and I was looking at my phone and I saw it like 99,995, and I'm like, this is literally going to happen in the next few minutes. Yeah. And then tick, 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 and so driving home with Tracy and the little man, she's like, you haven't stopped smiling for the last 45 minutes. So, well, it's a big deal. It really is a big deal.
Such a big deal. It was completely like sort of a way off goal.
It was a very distant goal. And I always remember seeing other channels and Sean Clement, when we first got together, I remember seeing Sean's channel. I think at the time when we started, ours was like 89,000.
He would have been close, yeah.
He was there, and I remember going, wow, that's so many subscribers. That's a huge channel, and I was like, I wonder if we'll ever get to that one day. And you know,
I probably would have told you no.
680 odd videos later, here we are, and you know, more than that, you know, the sort of community that we have, and you guys, and how much you're all part of it is almost, to be honest, a bigger thing than even the numbers to us, because you don't kind of get to put that together easily.
No, it doesn't happen just from two people. That is for damn sure.
That is exactly right. So yeah, big thank you to you guys for that.
We'll call this the 100,000
the party.
Party.
I know.
Special. Join us. If you'd like to drink. It's 10 a.m. here, but
you'd text me yesterday morning like, drinks tomorrow.
If it wasn't 10 a.m., a couple of drinks.
I know. So true. So true.
Well, why don't we...
Let's dive on in there, eh?
Dive on in there.
Have we got many on?
Oh, just 500.
Just the 510.
Just a small amount, yep. Good crowd as always. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Jeff.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Jeff. Jeff's firing out the acronyms early.
Love it.
Early and often.
Okay. So we're at a C-Taper S Plus, hard stepped once, lost 5 to 7 yards with the same lofts in the new CB620s from the MP split cavities.
Interesting.
So quick transition by the backup panel.
You saying keep them or
straight in or hard
S Plus
step?
or straight in? Head choice has got to be having more to do with it, no?
Yeah, I don't think, unless you're struggling, Jeff, with the timing, perhaps, you're not maybe feeling the shaft or the overall club. I mean, obviously I need to know a little bit more about the build and if it was it built, you know, by the manufacturer, was it built aftermarket, was it a homemade build with those shafts? One thing I will say is at 90 miles an hour, you're not a natural hard step 125 plus. I mean, that C-Taper is a pretty stiff shaft, so I would probably say you might be struggling to load the shaft a little bit on that one, so you may want to have a little play around with some different shafts, probably even some LZ 125, just play those straight up. That might be pretty good just to feel that load a little bit more.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Cameron. How does the MOI of the G410 Plus LST compare to the Plus?
Obviously, sacrifices a little bit of the MOI. I mean, going from 460 to 450. And the head size. I still think now. I don't think there's anything even higher though than the LST. I think it's number sort of 2, and in terms of the major heads in the marketplace,
it would still have been the highest MOI choice.
It would,
save for its
if it wasn't for the Plus, it would be the sort of highest MOI, I believe, here in that.
Okay.
But yeah, great head. For me, when it comes to LST over Plus, I think how much the head sits a little bit more open and obviously a little bit more forward CG. Spin rate wise, it's about 500-600 RPMs less than Plus. So it's just whether you fit into that right sort of flight window.
Gotcha. Small teaser for everyone watching live. We won't show you, obviously.
Ooh,
There's 2 staff bags full of new product from TaylorMade.
Oh, so good.
New product.
So good.
Various products.
I mean,
initial reactions
yeah.
were hot.
For those of you who follow the forums and
you'll know what it
things
is.
like that, you'll obviously have seen the new TaylorMade irons. They have been leaked, and there's pros playing them. I know Charlie Hull put some in the bag, and Rory's done some testing, and some other players. But I mean, they are seriously good looking.
So good. We'll be hitting them today. Videos won't be till I think at least next week though. So
yeah, I think embargo doesn't lift till next week. Yep. We've got a little a week today. We've got a little call planned with Chris Trott from the TaylorMade Tour department. So Trotty, will be breaking down the new lineup with Trotty and hearing obviously what the tour players' feedback has been so far. Always good to hear.
We'll have some full sets of said product.
Yeah, we're gonna hit the course
next week maybe.
Right.
I can't remember whether it's this week. Regardless, in the coming weeks. So there'll probably be sort of a new trend for us, hopefully, where we do some initial testing in here and seasonal. Obviously allowances in place, but when we can, we'll be taking sets of stuff outdoors. Yeah. For some further.
JP's just asking when's the Mizuno 921 fit kit coming in end of August. We have it. We already it's in here.
Are you allowed to show it?
No, not yet.
I think it's at least the 24th.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time.
I think it's the 24th of August if anyone's curious.
Yep. So no, we've definitely we've seen it in.
Hope everyone can hear us. Okay, I didn't even check the sound.
I think I've not heard any.
No one's been complaining.
Nope, no one's been complaining. Guys, give us a thumbs up if it's all good on the sound. We should be fine.
I was on autopilot this morning. I'm hoping that is good for something these days. All right, let's continue. Yeah. Adam. Maverick Sub-Zero with a even flow black 75X. Misses both ways. Hit a Tour AD BB7X. Felt like he liked the feel. Okay, yeah. Okay, basically lower budget version of the AD BB7X, which is mucho expensive, I'm sure.
So Adam's looking for 110 Sub-Zero even flow black 75, missed both ways. Hit a 2AD and feel like the feel of the dispersion. Similar shafts to try that are lower budget. Well, I mean, Adam, I'd be more curious: is your objective to eliminate the two-way miss, or is your objective to find a similar shaft to that BB? Don't be too hung up on the fact that you like the feel of a profile, right? As I'd be hearing you, but I'd be imposing on you that let's eliminate that two-way miss. Let's make that one-way miss. Let's look at other shaft characteristics that'll help you play better, rather than you've got a two-way miss with a shaft you like the feel of. That's not ideal.
No, that's true enough, right?
Right.
That's
so
not a good thing, is it?
No. So we want to try and address that and get to grips with that. So maybe chime back in, a little further down the chat if you can, and let us know what your delivery characteristics are. Do you hit up on it? Are you from in to out? Do you leave the face open? Do you hit it in the toe, the heel? Let us know a little bit more, and I can probably lead you to a little bit more of how you can go about trying to eliminate one of those sides.
We need to do something funny. Hold on. We can't have done nothing for this 100K. Ready for this?
Yes.
We have to do something.
Ba-ba-ba-bow.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, hold on. Stand by. Oh, no. Okay, ready? Oh.
Set it in there.
Okay, everybody, shield your ears. Here we go.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. Love it.
And one more. Yes. That is the official celebration right there.
It
official.
really is.
Had to do something.
Really is.
It was requested about 15 times.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Incoming air horn.
Air horns. What's wrong with you two? All right, Justin is going to Club Champion next week. He's a 13 handicap. He plays MP18 SCs. Your thoughts on slightly more forgiving, but sexy irons. You, Justin, should wait until August 24th.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I in all seriousness, if you like Mizunos, cancel your fitting and wait until they tell you they have them ready to fit with. You shouldn't go. Don't go.
Yeah. The new line are really impressive.
Sexy, check mark.
Really, really impressive. I think, for me, without trying to kind of give the game away, the middle two irons, so obviously as the JPX line has been, you have your Tour, you have your Forged, you have your Hot Metal Pro, and you have your Hot Metal. That's the way it has been. The middle two irons for me are the pick of the bunch on this new lineup. I absolutely love them. So we're actually doing a little bit of content tomorrow, doing a little Zoomer with Vauchal and one of the lads from the Mizuno Tour truck.
Oh, nice.
We're going to do a little Zoom with them tomorrow and have a little chat. Yep. So
We've
been very fortunate to see and hit the new ones. So get a little feedback.
Good. All right. Interesting. Okay. Long wait time on new irons. I've heard that a bunch of times from people. Current irons are a flex too weak. Should I alter my swing until my new MP20s show up? Probably
No,
not.
don't alter your swing.
Definitely
no.
don't alter your swing.
Yeah, leave the swing sort of as is, and just ride it out. It's worth it. Short-term pain for long-term gain is kind of, I always say that to people. If normal lead time on new clubs is 2 weeks and right now it's 4 weeks, to be honest, I mean, I hate to kind of sound blunt when I say this, 2 weeks doesn't really mean anything. It really doesn't.
Well, for the rest of your
in the grand
career,
scheme of things, if you have the thing 3 to 5 years, that 2 weeks is just patience. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's annoying when you're ready to have them.
It's annoying, but you kind of, we always have to be mindful that in a sort of COVID era, we are all going to have to sacrifice a little bit of something. And if 2 weeks is what it means for your golf clubs, a little perspective, I think, is important.
The world is a disaster zone at the moment. So golf clubs are probably not the highest.
Was Nate reading your mind?
Oh, Nate, you dirty dumb. Okay, so I said to Ian this morning,
this isn't gonna happen.
It is. Eventually, we're gonna have a match, obviously.
I'm gonna have to leave him to practice so I don't lose.
Ian and I are gonna play a match straight up at some point, and I said the stakes from my end, if he loses, he has to wear a hat the next time we play golf, on camera too, not just like in general. And he's allergic to hats. So that is my stakes offering to you. It's not like it's $1,000. It's not like,
Can it be a bucket hat? Can it be
that will make it worse.
Can it be the whisker bucket? I know, but at least if there's some comedy value to the whole thing, like I can.
Dude, you putting a cap on is comedy value enough. The look on your face. I want to get you like a cap that's just way too big.
I know.
Sits over your ears.
The ears just sit like that.
I'm just going to be zooming in on you all day. Man. Zero.
Honestly, bogey. Hat goes in the lake. Birdie.
Yeah. Oh, man. The top of your head would thank you, though. Getting scorched. You love getting scorched, don't you?
I do.
It's part of your mystique. Okay.
My mystique.
Okay, back to it. Here it is. Paul is asking who our picks for the PGA Championship are. You get one.
I'm going to go so far off track
here.
So far off track and say Justin Thomas.
Damn.
Shocker.
Yeah, Justin Thomas was also my pick.
Yeah.
Also.
JT's looking awfully good. I don't know Harden Park to be able to sort of comment too much on
I don't know it well
on the types of players who are going to do well there.
Believe me, if he keeps playing like that, he's the perfect type of player for that. Driving it good, irons good, putting good. That's all you got to do.
Ian in a trucker hat versus Matt shaving his beard.
I look like a 8-year-old.
You're like, oh, I'll do anything if you
I'll
wear
do
the
that.
hat.
Fine.
Would you shave the beard?
That's not
live.
that bad. What do you mean on camera?
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, if that's the stakes for me losing a match, sure.
Oh, man.
I won't be nervous at all. You will be though over the hat.
I really wouldn't, because I can take the hat off at the end of the round. Once you shave the beard, it's gone. That's a big deal.
You think you're pretty funny, eh?
No, I'm really appreciating this.
Well, I mean, it grows back.
It's for the community.
I think
People want to see.
I think those are decent stakes.
I want to see the 14-year-old Matty. Yeah, you're gonna look so young.
Lindsay would be so mad. She hates that shit so much.
That's
if
so
I shave it a
funny.
bit too short, even she's like, "What did you do to yourself? You look like an idiot." All right. Well, I think the stakes are.
Okay, they're pretty much set.
I think that's decent.
Do you know what? I think the anticipation of this match just went through the roof. Eating a hat and Matty Boy shaving his beard.
I'll never. I want to win so bad now.
Oh, jeez. Easy answer. Gray just put in a question. How do I go about choosing a putter? Easiest one of the day. You get fitted.
You get fitted. And Gray, if you can't,
get
watch as
fitted.
many fitting videos from us as you can. We have at least 10.
I mean, Austin's come out with a really good point there. Can't be as bad as DJ. I mean, that's the thing. You're not going to look as bad as DJ. Did you see him?
Oh, I saw him. It's on a similar vein, I'm sure. Dude, I haven't shaved my face since I was like 18. I actually don't remember the last time I took the beard off.
This is getting better and better.
There's probably just like a white line around my face. I literally have not shaved my face clean in 13 years.
Matthew is building a home sim. Thoughts or review on a Skytrack system? Matthew, I would have to say, if you're building a home sim and you're going to go to all that sort of trouble to make your room nice and put the stuff up, I wouldn't be putting a Skytrack in there.
That's fair.
I'd be looking at some other, maybe if it's budget, if we're talking budget, then I'd look at GC2.
Yeah, get a gently used GC2.
I mean, you can get a GC2 for 6,000 or 7,000. I mean, a Skytrack it's got to be a few thousand.
It's 3 as far as I
Three,
know.
right? So I'd kind of wait that little bit or whatever, and
I agree with that.
yeah.
Fair. Good answer. All right. Lovely. Thank you.
Congrats.
Appreciate He says, thanks for the tip on going to the XC6X in his driver. Yeah, for
Nice.
VR made a big difference. Term. Oh, for goodness sake. How
Love
good is that?
Love to hear that stuff.
Congratulations. Wow. That
Love
is
to hear
exciting.
that. For the Instagram followers out there,
Love it.
I will put out a public apology that it has gotten too difficult to get through all the Instagram questions. It is there are so many.
Our DMs?
Yeah,
They're bad. Sorry guys. They're bad.
It's just there's a volume problem now. There's just so many going in there, and lots of you guys looking for answers. I wish we could get to them all. I do still try to get to as many as I can.
I know.
When I get little windows in the day, I'll try and rattle through 8 or 9 answers.
We
But
try to chip in there. It's tough though.
the reality is, it just isn't. With our working schedules, the way things are going, it's really, really tough. So.
Lindsay's already complaining about me shaving my beard.
She said no.
Just not feeling it.
Lindsay, I'm open to bribes if it's coming. I'm not that fussed at wearing a hat, so if it's coming down.
All of a sudden you
wanna,
just start chunking every arm. Like, what's wrong with you today?
I'm more than open to bribes. Coming down the last, I could easily fritter a few shots away.
Believe me, she'd be down.
I
She'd
know.
be down. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Chad. This is a good question, Chad. Do low spin golf balls alleviate or accentuate sidespin? They
that's a good
accentuate,
question.
Chad. Lovely choice of words also.
Says
also thanks for the Fuji
Yeah.
Pro TS shaft recommendation. Good. Fantastic. So talk to the sidespin thing with the low spin golf balls.
First thing is, sidespin doesn't exist.
Good.
There is no such a thing as sidespin. There is no backspin. There is no sidespin. There is spin, and it tilts on an axis. So that's the first thing we have to talk about. The debate, if you want to call it the debate, and I've talked to Titleist about this because they do significant, obviously, testing on golf balls, aerodynamics and stuff like that. To me, I have always felt like more spin will lead to a ball rising and less to a ball sort of curving. And in conventional wisdom, if somebody wants to hit it a little bit straighter, they spin it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Now there is a reasonable enough argument though that if spin is on one axis and that axis is tilted enough with more spin, the ball actually will curve. Technically, will actually curve a little bit more. But my argument and this is back to what we talked about with Mark Crossfield, and he said, like, boys, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I also understand the physics breakdown of more spin and you on a tilted axis, more would equal more offline.
Okay.
I completely get that. But the reality is the heads that produce that additional spin generally are higher MOI and go a little bit straighter and all that sort of stuff anyway. So trying to separate those two things
right?
are very, very difficult.
Someone would need to basically prove that like the initial reaction of the ball is different. You know what I'm saying? Like it tilts differently initially based on the spin rating. I don't know. I'm already confusing myself, but
well, because remember I sent you that answer that time, and maybe you sent me the question, and I kind of sent down like a technical answer, and you're like, yeah, I don't understand.
I'm like, thanks for that. I think you probably sent to me like, how's this? I'm like, yeah, it's great. Is that your thesis?
But I really do. Titles have been great, and they've gave us access to their ball team in Massachusetts to get into this a little bit, and it's something that we would really like to do. I tell you what, I really cannot wait to start doing some ball testing outdoors, and we have a facility where we can go to do testing. I'd love to do one on a green from 125, 150, 175, and 200 yards with you. Have whether it's you and Paddy me and you at the ball hitting area, Paddy and Luke at the other side of the green.
The ball.
I want to see land angle versus spin rate, where the ball lands versus where the ball rolls out to, with shallower land angles with more spin, and steeper land angles and less spin. What's the rollout at 125, 150, 175, and 200? And what do people really need? Do you need height and steeper angle of descent, or do you need spin?
That's a great idea.
Because I really think that could lead people to a better appreciation for why we value ball speed so high.
So to try not to just get so obsessed with
spin.
Yes.
Obviously, when it comes to understanding flyers, and when we're discussing that video,
that's right.
spin is of importance then.
That's a great idea. We're also spoiled. We have access to a place with extremely good greens. So that video would be
cool, eh?
Very cool. Like it. All right. From Dips or Dips. Saw the video on forgiveness. I'm a picker with no divot in the long irons, very small divot in the short. What irons would you recommend? Great question.
Great question.
Picker, limited divots.
I would get into something with a fairly narrow sole. An iron I really like for that type of thing has been the P760 for that type of player.
Love it.
Yeah, really good sort of sole profile, pre-worn leading edge. Progressively, obviously, moves into a slightly larger head in the longer irons, where you kind of have the forgiveness from there, but at traditional lofts. Because generally, the picker is not normally somebody who spins it an awful lot. So their spin loft window tends to be a little bit on the narrower side.
Love it. Good. From Multi, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sure I'm not. Two quick ones on the Ping Hepler putter. Ping claim a stiffer shaft is much better than a standard steel.
Correct.
I'm sure Ian agrees.
Correct.
Plain face, more tech, better. I think he's referring to face technology. More tech is better for most. So the Hepler doesn't have roll technology.
Yeah.
Do you generally find face roll technology to be helpful for most people?
It's pick your poison when it comes to that, right? So a groove will give you some technical benefits. It will give you added friction. Do you want the friction? Do you not want the friction? Right? So there are times when it's very useful. There are times when it's less useful. It just depends what you're dealing with in the grand scheme of things. You have to balance it out over multiple factors. It's not just a case of, here's a grooved face if you add some backspin. Well, all it will do is, it won't all of a sudden create forward spin. It will add more friction and add more backspin.
Okay.
Right? So you have to just deliver that putter in a better fashion. It's not all of a sudden going to magic you, launch and spin.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can't just look to it to fix it.
No, it's going to give you friction. I had a great conversation about that with Paul Hurren on Friday. He is one guy, I could talk to Paul every day for the next 5 years, and I would learn something new from him in every conversation. He's brilliant with the putting stuff. And anyone in the UK who's looking for a putting lesson, or a fitting, Quintic headquarters in Birmingham is where you guys need to go for that. You can book a session with Paul himself, and
really,
yep, you can.
That's cool. Anyone can do that.
He's absolutely brilliant.
I'm gonna take this one from Bandit.
Go for it.
Bandit?
El Bandito.
No. No, you don't. Neither of you do. Do whatever you want.
The thing is, if we're not going to be more sensible, you certainly don't need to be.
Do whatever you like. We always enjoy it.
That's
Don't
exactly.
feel the need to be. I also wouldn't call us mainstream.
Nah, we're far from
Whatever the mainstream is, I doubt we're in that stream.
No. Look at the bandits change this picture.
It's such a good photo. That's why I put it up. Look at that hat.
That's
a
amazing.
good looking hat, by the way. That's a good looking hat.
Looking sharp.
All right. I continue. Whisker says Mikey was waiting to dump Gatorade on us. Fortunately, the poor Mikey had the
Poor
flu.
Mikey's in his bed with the flu. Poor lad.
Just a standard flu. Don't worry about him. Seems okay.
Oh, he seems all right. I don't know if the connections went down a little bit here. Something it has on my end.
Oh, your crappy internet. Well, according to this, we're still streaming.
Okay.
Let us know if there's any. Hit refresh the whole page.
Yeah, just try just
did.
just refreshing that there.
Give it a BlackBerry fix. Just unplug the whole damn thing.
Boat.
All right. Scott's asking if you've ever considered using ceramic coating on heads to basically to protect it from getting skied.
No, because indoors it doesn't really leave much of a mark, right? So if you're outdoors and you've got other debris and stuff like that on there, it doesn't really leave.
So a clean golf ball doesn't mangle a head as much?
No, not nearly as much. A dirty golf ball with sand and dirt and all that other stuff.
Dirty
the other thing
dog.
is the minute we see someone doing it a couple of times, get the tee down,
You don't
get
usually
your
let someone do
spine
it
tilted away.
Listen, Mr. Jones, you've been skying that all day.
And if you do it more than 3 times, we show you the door.
That boxing thing came up again. Did you see that?
So
It's
good.
now in your suggested feed.
So awesome.
did you read the description?
No, I didn't.
Eddie Hearn says, bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh,
Dummy.
man.
Ezekiel. This is very unnecessary, but much appreciated. Thank you, my friend.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Appreciate it.
really, really appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, I saw it, to be honest, I saw a bunch of them come in today, the super chat, just sort of the donations and not a question attached, and it's massively appreciated.
We'll be using it to invest more in our outdoor stuff, which
Yeah.
is our kind of our priority this year.
I know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the outdoor stuff last week. We had a blast reading the comments and stuff like that. It was too funny. I mean, obviously we didn't play all that well, and especially off the tee, and neither of us hit it the way we would like to.
But it's also like, what do you think golf looks like?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
what do you think it looks like?
I ran the stats on it, and so we hit six of our 14 fairways.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 or 5 of the fairways we missed by less than 4 or 5 yards.
It's a good driving day, as far as I'm
which was
concerned.
pretty decent. But I mean, obviously, I think people are used to the sterile environment and that sort of thing.
It's
so
understandable.
it was.
I'm sure I let a lot of people down, but that is what real golf
No,
looks
I
like.
mean the reality is, and that's what I was trying to get across to you. I mean, you let absolutely no one down. You hit so many good shots. We're playing a scramble, which is always a bit of a funky format because you're not golfing your own ball.
Well, you don't manage your game the same.
You don't
because
manage
there's not
your
much
game.
consequence.
I
Who
know,
gives
I
it?
know.
Like, who cares? If you
It
hit
was
one of them?
just fun, and obviously I think next time we play there, we will drive it better. There's no question about that, and it'll be interesting to see if we can turn, because around Brampton, in all honesty, driving it well doesn't guarantee anything.
No, those greens were tough.
The course is short enough that if you drive it good or if you drive it not so good, you're left with a score in iron.
Just say it's more about hitting the green.
Very much so, and getting in the right
putting,
spots
obviously.
and all that sort of stuff. So
I'm looking forward to going back. It was
yeah,
fun.
it will be
very
fun.
enjoyable.
We've reached out to a couple other courses locally, and we want to do a little. So this area, for those of you who aren't familiar with Toronto, is known as the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area. So around the GTA, there are so many great golf courses. For those who want to see the golf courses, go to scoregolf.com, and you can see the newly rated top 100 and how many of them are in our local area. There's a lot in this local area.
ton.
So
Yeah.
there's one about 40 minutes from us, well, a little longer from the east side from you, but the Devil's Pulpit and Paintbrush. That's
So nice.
probably, in terms of a single property, I can only think of one other property in Canada that might have 2 better courses, and that would be Cabot.
Fair
They're both in
argument.
the
Fair
top
argument.
20.
Oh yeah.
in
From a
Canada,
ranking standpoint, 100%.
or top, probably top 20, top 30.
They're 2 legit courses.
I can't think of anywhere else that's got 2 higher ranked courses in the country.
No, you're probably right. I mean, the thing with it is, obviously, most people have never played it. A lot of people have never even heard of it
I
because
know.
it's very private.
Very private,
We're obviously just
high-end,
lucky
yeah.
to have access to it. But I think on camera, those which one are we going to play? Do we know?
We have
Doesn't
we
matter.
have the option to play both.
In either case, people will look at that and go, "Well, that's cool. Like it's a cool property."
Well,
Very
the course was built originally by the guys who invented Trivial Pursuit.
I remember this story.
Yeah,
Someone told me this years ago.
I mean,
That was
and
so
they
funny.
invested. I think they invested $1 million in the first hole.
Don't look at
The,
me.
the first hole
You know more
alone,
about it than I
they
do.
spent
Yeah.
$1 million on it, and it's absolutely spectacular. You should see
It's
this hole.
ridiculous.
Absolutely amazing.
Perched up by the clubhouse, right?
Yeah. I see Dylan there saying Cabot question marks. So at the end of our outdoor season here, we would like it to be our
Not too far at the end though.
not too far at the end because of the
'Cause
weather.
the weather's crap.
Yeah, we would like it to be our sort of season-ending trip.
Culmination.
Because I know they are accepting visitors now from other provinces, so we would love to make a little trip out to Cabot.
Links.
Yeah,
I think
Cabot
we- I
Links
think-
and Cliffs.
I think we should drive if we can.
From here.
Aye.
How long's that drive?
Well, it's a day, but you stop a million times.
I love a road trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Love
You
a
can
road
go
trip.
play. So, for example, drive through Quebec, play Royal Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
one of the oldest courses in North America.
Yep.
Maybe stop in PEI. There's some amazing courses there, and then go to Cabot.
That's a wild scene. Let me see this.
Come on, do it, dude. How fun would that be?
It would be so
Bring
much
the
fun.
lads with us. People will say yes to that.
Cabot Links.
What do you put in Google Maps?
Aye.
You just consider before you see the shock value. You're not driving straight. Just keep that in mind. It's
Yep.
a day. I'm sure it's a day.
Starport. Your location.
We'll rent a luxurious van, and it would be an absolute laugh and a half.
Oh, it's not nearly as far as I thought it was.
If you drove straight, it's 20 hours, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I was literally thinking it's like 34 hours
No,
or something crazy.
no.
Like Canada's massive.
It is a massive country, but consider you're a bit closer to the East Coast than the West.
I mean,
always.
a little road trip for the lads. Maybe stop in Ottawa, play somewhere in Ottawa,
That's what I'm saying,
Montreal.
like, Eastern Ontario has amazing courses. Quebec has amazing courses. Then obviously you get into the maritime provinces. There's
Incredible.
some crazy stuff.
Quebec City, New
Um,
Brunswick.
I
Wow.
put the old halt on the questions. If anyone has any new ones, save them for next week.
New Glasgow. Stop in New Glasgow for a couple of pints.
I wonder what New Glasgow looks like. The city's so nice they made it twice.
do you know why? Do you know why I was thinking that it was so far? Because I know that there's like a 3 or 4 hour drive after you get a flight.
Well, that's yeah.
That's why I was thinking it's so
Cabot isn't
far.
near the international airport there, but yeah, if you're just driving, it's doable, my friend.
Love
It is doable.
Love it.
It's the type of thing we have to start planning if we're actually doing it, though. It's actually quite a bit of work, but we'll do it. Okay, back to the questions. Again, if you have one, hang on to it. We don't want to miss any. We're going to do the remaining supers plus a lot of regular ones, so let's just pump the brakes till next week. All right, Dustin, thank you for the congrats. Appreciate it. He was fitted to 785-585 combo. Beautiful. Strixon is out of left-handed 785s. Have I done?
Yeah.
Next best was Blueprint I-500 Retro Lofts. Do you think I will have a gapping problem? I-500 with the Blueprint.
I mean,
Not in retro
you don't need to. Yeah, retro, certainly in the retro lofts. I don't find the i500 to be one of the more toasty faces.
It's true. It's not too tough.
It's not too hot. So and Blueprint is actually a little sneaker. So I don't think you'll be too far off that.
Is
Don't
Strixon
think
going to
so.
get more 785s, or are they?
No, they're done. New iron coming.
Yeah, I remember. Did they leak those too? I saw the leak in
Yeah.
the leaked driver photos, but we won't say anything. Probably gonna break an NDA just by mentioning. From BR Jazz 0526, shopping for new wedges. Lovely. What are the differences between traditional wedge design and high toe design at full face?
The center of gravity is the major difference.
question.
Yeah.
So
So
mostly for partial shots.
the high toe or the CG being pulled up and out away from the toe to offset obviously the hosel is the primary function for that, and obviously the full groove design is to take advantage of some of the toe strikes where maybe there's a little bit of lost friction or lost control from those toe strikes. So when you do hit a lot of wedge, and people hit a lot of wedge shots in the toe, obviously you see
doesn't?
more energy loss, you see more inconsistent launch conditions when you do that, when you hit it off CG. So all those things are designed to sort of compensate for that loss.
Nice. It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a really good question. And the other,
It's a hell of a trend right now, isn't it?
yeah, the other parts to that are why are people moving away? I don't know if it was last week in the live, but why are people
Yes.
moving away from high toe wedges right now? It was very in vogue maybe a year or year and a half or so ago. And then you look at all the guys, especially the TaylorMade guys specifically, they're moving sort of back to the mill
Yes, they
grind
are.
2 design, and
I think it's
there's
just
less of them.
they've done more CG adjustment in a standard wedge at this point.
Hard to say.
All right, Uday, I've been using VR Pro blades. Time for an upgrade? Agree. Any suggestions on what sets to look at in start point? Similar kind of model and looks.
Well, Uday, if you look at the influence on VR Pro blades was very, very, Tiger's influence was heavily in there. So if you look at something like P7TW, you are looking at something that probably shares a lot of those characteristics.
100%.
You might want to hang fire and see some of the new designs that TaylorMade have out as well that are really, really nice. But I mean, we're spoiled for blades right now.
Didn't used to be the case, did it?
Mura 101 are just exceptional. They feel great. They look great. I mean, we've never done more Mura in
Is
our
that right?
lives.
Wow.
It's I would say if we ran a report on the last 2 or 3 months, I would say we are maybe selling more Mura sets than anything else in the company.
That's nuts.
It's nuts.
Wow.
There's so much demand for the Mura stuff right now. We're doing really well with that lefty 801.
Okay, it's a
Obviously,
good-looking club.
the TC 201 is just
yours?
killing it because of how much sort of it looks good, feels good, sounds good, all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, that's interesting. All right.
Scott's saying the high toe lob wedge is rubbish for full shots, but is amazing from 14. And I mean, that was my experience with it, Scott. That was
also
exactly it. You found the same thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't find it was great for that. Now, I was always keen to try it with the 4-way camber sole rather
we
than
never
the
tested that one, did
ATV. So it kind of there's probably enough in it where they'll take it away, they'll pull it back, they'll remodel it, redesign it, and you'll see it again. It'll come back. Dave's saying he likes his PM grind. That is one I just cannot look at.
It's pretty interesting looking.
I just can't. I mean, that, to be honest, I mean, and the one that started it all was obviously the Pga.
Right. Those two are
and I
quite-
can't look at that one either.
Yeah.
When we literally sell zero based on. I mean,
Zero
they're
sales.
functional enough, but you hand it to someone and they look at you
They're like,
funny.
"What's the
They're
matter
like,
with
"What are
you?"
you doing?"
I know. I came here to buy something.
I want wedges that I like the look of. But
wanna make
it's
a sale?
obviously
It's functional. Very
yeah,
functional.
Yeah. I think Dave's saying it's not as pretty, but it works.
Yeah.
The reality is, though, when you're faced with so many other things that work, especially in an environment where we can actually fit you to it, we're going to make everything work. We're going to make whatever you end up in work. So
Fair enough.
aesthetics do become part of that process because we are going to make sure that it works. So
Sure.
if you can get by the looks and the visuals of it, crack on and knock yourself out. But
I think it depends on the types of shots you play.
Yeah,
like someone like
it's
Dave may
tough.
like opening the face and hitting different shots with it.
well,
maybe some
that
people
much
don't.
kind of radius to the leading edge. I mean, if you do like to open and play at different angles, it's a great
best for that.
feature and function for that.
All right. From another Ian.
Oh man.
Ian is fighting a draw hook only off the tee with his 3 and 5 wood. Interesting. He's got a standard grip on there, but he has large hands. Would fitting a mid-sized grip help?
Definitely get into some bigger grips here, my man.
Doesn't seem like any reason not to.
Yeah, and just take a little Dr. Scholl's as well. Just be mindful of your strike contact. Just make sure you're not living out in the toe with that strike point. And if that is the case, that's probably a big part of it as well. So I tell you one thing, I threw that Jumbo Max on for myself the other day, just to kind of hit a few.
Wow.
Strike point moved dramatically more heel side for me.
Really?
Dramatically more because I couldn't get the head to rotate. Huh. So like I was leading the head way more heel side. So for people who live in the toe, I'm going to do a little bit more research on that and see if that's something where we can, if grip size maybe is one of the major features that influence face rotation enough to move strike point laterally across the face.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently you should wear a cowboy hat.
I wear my cowboy boots as well.
I saw a guy at a restaurant patio wearing a cowboy hat the other day.
Did you?
I'm like, what are you doing?
Listen, I'm
are
going
you
to
a
have to wear a
cowboy?
hat of some description if I lose this match. So
I got news for you. It's going to be a hat you don't like. I promise you that. It won't be a hat.
where do I need to wear it? Do I need on the next
You'll wear it for 18 holes for sure. And to be honest, I think you should probably wear it for probably an indoor video too. You know, the beard's going to take a week and a half to come back. You got to wear it more than once. Look at this face.
I'm just picturing you without a beard.
It's not good.
It's too good. It's too good.
It's not good. It's bad, one might argue. It is bad.
Oh, man. Don't
David,
die.
if you are testing shafts for a driver, how do you determine the tipping amount? Good question. Moving stiffer flex when you can't tip it. Okay, so basically he's saying, how do you assess sort of the final dial-in of that?
I think we are spoiled for choice here with so many different options that if we need to make subtle changes to the shaft flex, to the, we will maybe select a shaft from the wall that has those subtle changes. Perhaps we see a trend where we fit someone and we increasingly go a little bit more towards the stiffer tip. We find something that's really good, but we go, well, could be a little better if we just tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're moving in the right direction with that, and then you just think, okay, if I just tip this a little extra, it'll give you the feel you want. It'll give us the performance we want. So it's just the evolution of the process of the fit. It's just kind of how it goes, and.
It's a fine-tuning thing. It's not like this shaft doesn't work, I better just tip it, it'll be good now. It's never that extreme. Okay.
There's Big Al in the house.
Oh, Big Al.
Big Al.
Hello. Good evening.
Come on.
For you.
Good evening indeed.
Late evening.
Big man's up there having a couple of
pints.
Couple of scotches.
Oh boy, love it.
Aye.
Love it. All right, let's speed round the last few questions here, because we are busy today.
Go for it.
Ventus Black 60X for the Maverick Standard. Okay, we suggested this apparently.
Be really careful with this one.
I have it at 44 and a half. You usually play 44. Miss it shifted from toe to heel. Is that from the length or the shaft?
Yeah, you got to be really careful. When you go that light in that head, then you're going to be very dicey on your swing weight. So
swing weight's going to be very light already?
Very light. If you get somebody who can do some additional work, if they've got aftermarket weights or something like that, you can pop in
hot
there.
melted mine even, and it's set standard.
Oh. See Matty Boy's new weapon. See your little tour sleeve in there.
Mikey put some hot melt in here for me. I'm curious how this is going to sound.
Where
outside.
did he hot melt it?
I just said to do it neutral for now. I mean, I didn't want to mess with it. But he didn't put a ton. I just said, can you put a little so
nice.
it's... That looks great.
Looks really
so can you just put a bit just to get rid of that slight twang to the sound that I wasn't enjoying?
Yeah. Well, I think part of I think, for you, even just second guessing the Maverick when we played the outdoor game was part of, well, it's not kind of set up, the way I want it. It doesn't have the hot melt, it doesn't have the flatter sleeve, it doesn't have the characteristics. So you're sitting there with a G410 LST in your bag going, well, it's flatter, and I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
So, and the head's heavier. So, all those things are in this now.
Yes.
So we should be able to see Freaky Deaky Mavericki back in its full flow.
There's no excuse except for me swinging like a donkey. It's
The
not
thing
the
is
club's
now,
fault.
The ping, I'm probably going to take the ping from Matty's bag today and hide it. The thing is now with this, this is going to be like every club that goes into someone's bag. This is the process to bedding it in.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Making better swings to make it fly better. We know the numbers. We know what they are. They're spectacular. When you done that video on the spikes versus spikeless versus no shoes.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
I've never seen you drive it so well.
I know.
So I knew that it wasn't the
it's
issue
not
with
the
the driver.
club. Oh no, definitely not.
But the problem with you second guessing it is the mind goes, well, maybe I'll just go back to what I know.
Yes.
Whew, ping out the bag, throw it onto the 401,
Yeah.
let the trucks have at it.
My ping! My ping, my beautiful ping.
Oh, well, we have to stop and
Oh, Andre.
big thank you to Andre for that.
Andre, thank you.
That's
Again, not necessary,
overly
but thank you.
kind and
Much appreciated.
very much appreciated. We'll
It will go to good use, we promise.
yeah, we'll have a few pints on you.
Hey,
Go
that's
to
a
good
good
use.
use,
Aye.
Okay, let's make sure we get through all these. I don't want to leave anyone high and dry. We got January. Okay. I had the Speeder Pro TS in my woods and the KBS Tour 90 in my irons. What shaft would you recommend for my Hybridos? Good question.
Well, I mean, you're obviously going down the stock line, so I would need to know what head you've got at least to be able to kind of give you an idea of what's offered. Obviously, right now, Even Flow and Hazardous are two of the more popular options that are
Good
in
hybrid
there.
shafts, yeah.
Really good hybrid shafts. Very, very good.
And cost effective? Good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nick is asking, he plays the Aldala Extortion Copper Tour X in his driver. He likes the feel and dispersion. Okay. 3-wood is an Ozic red tie S. Feels bendy. 2-way mesh chakra. Okay. So if he likes the Extortion Copper Tour X in his driver, what would be a good 3-wood shaft?
Higher balance point. You could go, so you're playing it in X, so you could do a little Hazardous yellow 6.5 in there, little 70 gram Hazardous yellow, 6.5.
Perfect. Love it. All right, from our pal Implicit Zen, Gaming Apex 19s with the R-Flex stock shafts, yeah. Swings 102 with the driver, okay, that's a problem. Right side miss and the ball's going too far, even bending it weaker. So it seems like the irons could be perfectly fine, but playing an R-Flex stock shaft in his irons when he swings 102 with the driver.
Too soft.
Too soft,
Yeah.
so hang on to the heads and look at new shafts.
100%.
Don't-
Get retrofitted for those. Make sure the lie angles are
Good point.
sort of managed. Get the balance of the clubs right, where you really have a great sense of the weight. So if you're swinging the driver at 102, you're probably around 87, 86 with the 6 iron. Would be a fair estimation. So
I'm going to get this from Nathan. Asked something. Nathan, I'm going to find it, bud. He asked something before we went live, and I just can't. I can't see it.
no
Or
problem.
something about simulators, I think so.
No problem.
Grab while I grab.
Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got.
Let's grab whatever you see.
Okay, Joel has 2 woods, a 3 and a 5, 2 hybrids, a 3 and a 4, 5 to wedge, 2 wedges, considering dropping the 3-wood, lofting down a 5-wood that's easier for me and adding the lob wedge. Don't love woods off the deck or hybrids off the tee. I think you can definitely find yourself, Joe, in a wood that 4-wood, obviously that type of thing. So it kind of launches up with minimal fuss. That's what you want from a 5-wood. But the head profile gives you more of the trajectory once it hits its apex of a 3-wood. I had this conversation with Johnny Wonder the other day, and he had 2 Sim fairway woods, Sim Titanium, and he had 1 Cobra Tour 5-wood, and he was saying he hits the 5-wood of the Cobra a little bit too far for it being a 5-wood. I said, well, keep it. That's a great one, because the Sim 3 and 5 would act like a 3 and a 5 wood. Your Cobra launches like a 5 wood, but it spins super low because it's a deep face. So you've kind of got an option whether you want to play 2 woods or 1 wood. So I would say, go get fit and find yourself in there with a 4 wood, something around 16.5 degrees, maybe a little TS3 or something like that launches up in the air but keeps that spin rate down for you.
Gotcha.
That's going to be a great option. And you don't like hybrids off the tee. Yeah, not that uncommon. A lot of people kind of turn them over too much off the tee. You could let a little fly buzzing about, isn't there?
Yeah, what's going on? The wildlife.
You could potentially look at doing something like what I done, which was having an iron for off the tee, but having a hybrid for those second shots or out the rough potentially. So.
Nice.
It's all about set composition. I mean, you've got options in there, 3 and 5 wood, 3 and 4 hybrid. You've got a couple of wedges, but you definitely could go with a slightly different combo. Lots up there.
Perfect. So Nathan was asking you about GC Hawk versus GC Quad. He's building a simulator for his house. Any insight you could give him as to what would be a good choice?
I mean, obviously Hawk gives you maximum versatility, no need to move it side to side and that sort of thing. It's so easy to cable the room and stuff like that.
Yep.
We are working through the calibration with Hawk right now. We want it to read like a GC Quad. We are so comfortable and we are so sort of deep in the belief that those numbers are so good indoors. And we hear it all the time. I can't tell you how often someone comes into the bay, hits the first couple of shots and goes, geez, that's exactly what I do outside.
Which is a good
Happens
feeling.
all the time.
You don't want someone to feel like it's something else.
It's a really good feeling. So
for recreational use, though, I would say the Hawk is the most foolproof, easy thing. Yeah. If you need the portability, the quad's good because you can take it outside. But
look at this guy. Look at this guy dropping some beer tokens in there for the boys.
Al, first round's on us, bud.
I know, I was going to say, we'll save that one for when you get here, pal, and then we'll...
drink of your choice is on you.
And then the next one, and then the next one.
What a beauty. Jared asked a question really early on before we went on. He's asking about spinning a 7-iron over 8,000 RPMs. And he's saying, should I bend them strong or try a low spin ball? I would say try the ball first. If it's not enough, then do the irons after that.
Yeah, I mean,
TP5X
so
or something.
for me, with 8,000 with a 7-iron, do both.
Do both.
Right, you're not just outside the window, you're outside the window by a fair amount.
Okay, I'm just letting people know. Guys, no more new questions because we are needing to catch up.
What's the best beer in Canada?
Depends on what you like. There's a million beers in Canada. How's that? You get to pick the one you want. There's literally 10 billion beers. There's more beers than people. There's probably more craft breweries than Tim Hortons at this point. It's insane.
It's not far off it. What's your tipple?
For beer?
Yeah.
I like a light beer, personally. Light. Watery. Refreshing.
He likes a Corona.
Honestly. They're
Who
delicious.
doesn't like a Corona?
I've been supporting Corona even post-disaster. It's not their fault. They picked that name long before the world was destroyed. You got to that one already. Good. Let's take one from... Oh, God.
Grab quickly while we're looking there. Corey's saying he's been a big second-hand club user, but scores vary a lot. Mm-hmm. Would being fitted help me get more consistent? Yeah, it would, Corey. And the one thing I will say to that, pal, is you know, don't think that being fitted means you have to you know, burst the bank, you know, break the bank and go buy, you know, the latest and greatest everything. Mm-hmm. Listen, if you're in a position to be able to do that, sure, it takes the constraints off the fitter to purely get you in the clubs that work best for you. Yeah. But it doesn't mean, you know, the same things that we recommend are available to you if you want to go into the second-hand market. We are going to recommend a shaft weight, a flex, a length, a loft, a lie, a grip, a head style, an amount of offset. We're going to promote a certain shot pattern. That isn't only available if you're buying brand new golf clubs.
That's true.
So 100%. You know, if budget is you know, you might need to be a little bit more sort of savvy in how you go about it, but you know, you still have to get the right specs to play your best.
Good. Michael's asking, any good software that you can input, launch, and spin and see results from different elevations? Want to compare it to Sean said on my Skyjack?
No.
Not sure that you can input raw ones that I know of. I know FlightScope has a ball optimizer, but I don't think it has elevation though. Yeah.
Michael's saying he doesn't like it. I mean, I think, to be honest, Michael, for what it is a free tool, I think it's pretty good. I know you're saying it's weak sauce, but and you mean you're asking a question where we don't know the answer. That's how rare these things are in the marketplace. So, you know, even the fact that they have an option, I think is pretty cool.
I would do a bit of Googling and make the calculations based on that. I know, like, you can look at 10,000 feet when they were in Mexico City was like 15%, so I would just dial it back from there and do your best.
Did you hear about the fire ants at the WGC?
You must have seen
Obviously, that's a reference to...
So funny. Did you see Brooks?
No.
Oh, there's an ant there. He was messing with his caddy. He's about to hit his shot. He's like, oh no, there's an ant. This guy's like, what? And he just screwing with him.
They just don't like each other, do they? There's just beef.
I'll say this. No matter how much you like Bryson or defend him, you cannot defend that exchange. With that rules official, him telling him that there's burrowing animals and he needs a drop, like, you can't defend that. That was just plain silly. Do you know what the thing is, right? Maybe he's always been like this. Oh, for sure he has.
Maybe he's always... But it seems like right now, because he's added all this distance, he's playing well,
there's more, yeah.
The camera's on him a lot in the spotlight, and it, you know, the thing
you just see more of it.
Well, you do. I think when the camera's on someone, you see more of who they truly are.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's
you
totally
know,
fair.
And I think, you know, we're seeing.
He's just very finicky. Anyway, it was funny. Who cares? In the end? Still fun to watch, but like, I don't know what you say about that burrowing ants issue. All right, Brett is
Those
saying, Brett moved into Project X 7.0s based on your recommendations, and he's never been more accurate. That is great, Brett.
Love it. Love it, Brett,
Love
my
to
man.
hear that. Glad
That is
that
awesome.
Ian was of help. That's fantastic.
Very cool.
Okay, from Joel, you already got that. That's good. If you see one, go for it. I'm just catching up.
Yeah, a lot of kind of chatter. Let me see here. Chris Stewart got fitted into a 12-degree driver due to my AOA being 5 up and spin being so low, 1800 in a 12-degree. This was into an M2 2017. I fancy a new driver and don't want to go 12 degrees. I mean, you know, it sounds, Chris, like your sort of desire to not be in 12 degree is maybe a little bit more aimed at you just don't want a 12 degree. You know, that's
fair.
Now, what do we call that? You know, is that just ego? Is that just don't want to play that?
Yeah.
If you go for a fit, there are some companies who know that there are people like yourself who do not want to play a 12-degree driver. We've talked about this in the past, and the tolerances err on the higher side.
Sure.
So if you go into certain companies' heads, you might find a 10.5 is actually a little bit closer to 11 to 12.
Digitally lofted.
Digitally lofted. You could potentially look at obviously a head that's turned a little bit, in that direction. So maybe a 10.5 is turned up a little bit. If you look at something with like a Ping G410 Plus where the CG is so deep and back, that loft versus CG location conversation, it probably does perform like most people's 12 anyway, because the CG is so deep in that G410.
Fair enough.
There are options, but I think your best way to sort of get out of that driver into something is to go get fitted and have access to them.
Agree. Did you get this?
No.
I don't know what. It doesn't appear to be a question.
TXG driver, TS2 woods, and
Was this a
hybrid
follow-up,
was.
maybe?
I don't know. I think I did see.
Did you? Was it a follow-up?
It is a follow-up. It is a follow-up.
Sorry, the software exploded.
Sorry about that, guys.
Maybe that was a sign that it was time to go.
Never.
I love when Apple gives you a message. Your program quit unexpectedly.
Oh,
Did
really?
it?
We hadn't noticed.
Thanks for that. All right. Okay. We're going to take this last one, then we're going to bounce. We have things to do. Sharik is asking about upgrading from a starter set. You didn't get this, did you?
No.
What's the best order in which to build the bag? That's a good question. So he's got something that was probably a package set. He wants to get bit by bit probably into some premium stuff.
Yeah.
Would you go driver downwards? Osmo didn't. Yeah, I don't know what the question was, to be honest.
Post your
You tell us.
Osmoden, post your question again.
Okay.
We'll
get it. So Sharik's asking what order? Would you go probably what? Driver downward, driver, irons, woods, putter, or something like that? I'm assuming drivers first.
I would want you in a good driver. You got to start the hole properly.
Yeah.
You got to start the hole well.
That's great.
If you are hitting irons that maybe don't go as far as you would like, you can always take another iron, right? So that for me, you can always take the next one. So that'd be less of a priority. I think definitely, obviously putting would be next.
So we'll get Osmodens. You basically were saying you wanted to recommend him a hybrid shaft, but you didn't know what company. But you said Hazardous and something else, which are Titleist shafts anyway. That's what it was. So
yeah.
You're good to go with those, bud. So sorry, driver, putter.
Driver, putter.
Next.
Starter set. I would like you to have a really good hybrid that you can rely on. I think you're going to hit that a ton. And after that, look at the irons, and then fairway would probably be my last one to make sure
Because
you've
you only
got
hit
that.
it like twice around sometimes, right? For some people.
DJ's asking there, would you guys take Webb Simpson at 40-1 at Hardin Park? I mean, how the world number 4
I know. I'd sprinkle a little something on
at
him.
40-1.
Sure.
It's
$20.
impressive.
It's
Impressive. Really good.
All right. I'll just take this quickly from Michael. Michael was not asking about elevation. He was asking about uphill, downhill. The reason that wouldn't exist, Michael, is that it depends on your trajectory. If you hit it low or you hit it high, it will completely change what you need to do. But I would say Arcos Caddy is a good tool for that. Arcos Caddy takes uphill,
Michael,
downhill.
the best information on that is actually on Trackman University, where
Okay, a few
it
people
tells you.
put that in there.
Did they? Yeah, that's the best place where you can go and find out about sort of angle of descent, being shallowed out by the ball. I mean, we kind of started out our on-course vlog last week with a pitch and wedge going 40 feet uphill.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, that no matter how much spin, your pitch and wedge had just shy of 10,000 RPMs of spin on it, and it just backed up a little bit.
Yes.
So that's based on
It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the fact that the ball's coming in so shallow.
All right, Taylor, thanks for that, bud.
Thank you.
For you, a DJ air horn.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
We missed one from Mr. Birch. Mr. Birch is saying, recently fit into Sim Max with VA Drago shaft. Can't justify spending the extra money on the shaft. Fair enough. Stock alternative from Sim Max.
Well, we really thought the Ventus was a pretty good stock option.
The stock Ventus Blue is pretty good.
Was pretty good.
Because Drago's not super stiff anyway, is it?
No. No, not super stiff.
So maybe get the stock Ventus Blue, tip it a bit or something if you want to make it feel a bit firmer. But yeah, the Ventus Blue is good.
Exactly.
That is our recommendation.
That's the recommendation. We are outdoors on Thursday.
Yes, at the prestigious paintbrush pulpit combination.
Yep, we're hoping to be there. To be TBC on that one. We will be outdoor.
TBD.
To be confirmed.
TBC. To be determined.
So we'll see
To
if
be
we're going to be there.
Okay, we'll be somewhere.
We're going to be outside. We've got lots of content to film right now for videos that are coming up. So
Yes.
we may end up. I'm just thinking, we may end up skipping a video on potentially Thursday. We've got today. We'll get something tomorrow, and then Thursday. I'm just thinking we've got so much to film in advance.
We're just going to have to do our best, basically.
We will. And then we'll have obviously the outdoor stuff coming sort of Friday and over the weekend. So any ideas, guys? What format? We're not going to play the head-to-head just yet. We're going to build up the anticipation, probably make that pay-per-view event.
We are going to play our own ball, though. We said that.
Yeah,
right?
we were talking about our own ball. We were talking about just playing our own ball in a best ball scenario. So we're still in the same team.
Yeah.
We're still shooting the lowest score we can. You guys will see us plot our way around the golf course the way we would, and less in a sort of scramble format. So let us know if there's a way you would like us to do.
Sure. Yeah. We're going to be using Arcos for basically all of the people ask like more information about yardages, distances. We're actually going to run Arcos on both our phones, and then I'll just put the screenshots up as they happen. So that will be a new addition for next week. Nick,
we quickly, if you can, I see you are a member.
Yeah, Nick, throw it back in.
Throw your question in there. You don't super it. Just put your
put
question in, and we will catch it, and we'll make sure we got that.
Good.
What else is on play those foul balls? Did we have any foul balls on? Yeah, I certainly put one in the drink on 16.
100%. There were many foul balls.
Was there?
Well, not many. There was a few. But again, we're playing a scramble, so it's like if I hit and it's decent, or you hit and it's decent, you're just going to give it away. So who cares?
Play the worst ball format.
I'd rather be dead, Nathan. I'd rather be dead.
I mean, to be honest, I maybe you guys are gluttons for punishment. I don't know if I would watch two guys scrambling for
What
pars.
disturbs me is that people would watch it.
Worst ball.
People seem to get an awful lot of a kick out of it.
I think it's what it is, because when you make, what did we have the other day? We had 5 birdies and an eagle
and a
I
bogey.
mean, that's pretty good golf. Scoring wise, I think some people like to see the struggle.
Well, when we play our own ball, you'll see some struggles, so don't worry. Okay, Nick's question is here. Nick says, this is the last question, just so everyone knows. Difference between 10cc CK Pro and the new AV Raw series. Looks like most pros have swapped. I've seen that. Brooks has a new one in the bag too. AV Raw is a new line or updated CK Pro. That's a good question.
Yeah, just different material content. With the aluminum vapor sort of butt section, just gives them an additional layer of material that allows them to slightly manipulate the bend profile. There are things with the orange, for example, though, that it would they've taken out the MR70 from the tip, so it doesn't appear to be as stiff as the original. Now they don't talk about the MR70 in the tip, so I assume they have taken it out.
Yeah.
It was a feature as a very, very stout product. We actually didn't find it as high balance point as the original 10C orange as well.
Right?
Because we found the balance point on the white and the orange to be relatively similar. I think there was only half a swing weight in it.
Yeah.
And the blue, though, was much lower balance point.
Right,
I think
the
it was
blue
about
was the
2
significant.
swing weights.
Yeah.
So, opposite shot. Ian plays Matty's drive and vice versa. Could see that.
Fun.
Could see that one for sure, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Jordan, big fan. You guys need to do more with the podcast. Yeah. I think that's a good shout actually. That would be a good idea. Get an outdoor 14 club challenge going.
That'd be fun.
It'd be good.
Actually, quite easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah. We just need a little bit of space on one of the holes.
Yeah, you just need a hole.
To be able to do that.
That's fantastic. That is a guarantee. Okay. Shall we?
Let's get this day going.
Love it.
A green hat. It's got to be a green hat and a full shave.
A green hat is even better. Who said that?
Nate,
you're a genius.
Nate, if your questions don't get answered anymore, pal, you now know why.
Don't worry, Nate. I'll answer your questions. You looking for a crap answer?
Yeah, really go deep on them, Nate. Go
Put a bunch of acronyms in. Talk about some shafts from like 8 years ago when I didn't even know what golf equipment was, and yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Maybe what we'll do is I'm curious as to what format you guys would want to see us play, and that's the thing. I mean, I think probably this week we've decided it will be best ball.
Yeah.
But some other formats, I would like to certainly hear. There's different green sums and
there's a million things you do.
There's a bunch of different ones. So what we'll do is jump over to Instagram.
Yes.
We'll do a little sort of question on Insta for that, and see what you guys.
I'll make it right now.
What you guys think?
Okay. Onwards.
Yeah, onwards. Yeah, big guys. Big thanks again for getting us over that 100K line.
What a day.
Just before we go, Joe. No, we're not doing a worst ball, Joe. Come on, you're supposed to be our pal.
I know.
Want to see the boys struggle. You saw us struggle in the last vlog.
Like, all the comments were just about how crap we were.
I don't honestly know if that would be that far away from worst ball the way we played that.
Well, save for the iron
and
shots.
By the way, lots of people said that putt on number 1 counted.
Dude, it's not an opinion. It's just a fact. It doesn't go in the hole. It doesn't count.
Lots of people saying COVID rules.
Fine, so
7
change
under.
it. We shot 7 under. I just personally would have expected if I said it counted, comments would have been, "Oh, you're full of whatever." Like, so sure, we shot 7 under. Who cares?
Me, nice little birdie to start.
There was easily 400 people that said it counted. At least, maybe more.
What was I going to say? So Hogan Irons, when's that getting decided? Who wins those, or when do we pick the winner for that?
I could do it whenever. I'll give people a couple more days.
A couple more days, okay. So from those.
A couple more days, and I will do the draw.
No COVID rules in the US, Dave. You maybe there should be. Maybe there should be.
Are we talking about golf or?
I don't know.
Just in general.
We're not in the US, so
No.
in Canada there's COVID rules.
Aye.
Dave.
Listen here, Dave.
So more importantly, we're at 100K.
Mm-hmm.
The competition starts now.
Yeah, we have to decide when you want to draw 8 names.
Ready. And we're officially at 100K. So
Sure. Can do that.
Let's get that.
We should have done it live.
Let's go. Yeah.
We will do it ASAP. But if someone is in the contest, you can still get in. Until I say it's closed, it's still open.
Okay.
More hours.
So today, what we would we say later today, the competition will close on the big giveaway. Next week we will announce who they are.
Yeah. Do you want to draw it today while we're here?
We can.
Okay.
Are we? How are we going to draw? Are we using that same software that we've been doing to?
It'll be kind of like that. I have a full. There's like many thousands of people in an Excel report, so we'll just have to draw random numbers, and it will go at random. Yeah. Joe, if you're not on the live stream, you get skipped. That should be a rule.
If you're not like,
You don't win unless you're on live stream.
absolutely.
That's how we would get 10 million people on the live stream. All right. If anyone isn't in it, go to our channel homepage and look at the recent stream of videos. You'll see the contest there. You have a few hours. We'll probably draw it after lunch. How's that?
Yep. Again, trying to get you guys, trying to get as many people into the Instagram. We've got 100,000 followers on YouTube. We're trying to convert as many people into the Instagram account by being as active on there as we can. So we will do updates on the various competitions we've got on Instagram. So head on over there. That's, obviously we only do these lives once a week with you guys. So that's probably the best place to find our updated live content. So
I'm posting this right now.
Yep, so Matty Boy's posting the question, what format do you want to see us play? Head over to Insta, the official TXG.
Fire us a message. We'll see what comes back.
Yeah, lots of COVID conversations. Scott saying his kids are back to school today.
August?
Yeah, August. That's a funny time to be going back to school, isn't it?
Summer school?
Maybe. So yeah, thoughts are with the kids, pal. Hopefully everyone's okay, and the procedures and sort of they've got in place and practices they've got in place are safe for the kids. That's the last thing you want to be worrying about. I mean, it's hard enough sending the wee ones out. Never mind worrying about that. So hopefully they're all right.
All right.
We need more videos on the Insta. That's a really good point. Yeah, that's.
We're working on it.
So I mean, part of the growth of the channel has been to add in more sort of resources that we can use for that type of thing. So we just brought on a new videographer who you would have seen, young Luke, who's helping us on the outdoor stuff. Luke and Paddy are our two camera guys. So funny seeing Paddy sneaking in amongst the shots.
I love it.
It was so fun. I was dying laughing looking at it.
He was working, man. He was working.
He was working. The boys done great. The boys done absolutely brilliant. Last week helping us with that. So having the guys, the idea of Luke is that he will take the burden off of Matty, who's already got a crazy schedule, trying to get as many videos as we are now doing out on a weekly basis. And it's just, to be honest, it's at the point where we're doing so much content, it's just not feasible that one person can do it. So young Luke is going to come in and. My vision for him is that he will sort of really change the trajectory of our Instagram channel. Lots more IGTV, lots more videos, lots more updates. We can be more obviously instantly available on Instagram, so that would be the plan.
Perfect. All right, and on that note, we will see you guys next week.
Guys, have a great one. We will see you next week for the Q&A and get on Instagram and answer all the questions we're going to get out there today.
Pop on immediately.
Have a good one, guys.
Right. See ya.
Cheers.